Good morning, all of you. I welcome you once again in the journey of Indian financial system. Right? In the last lecture, we studied about what is the Indian financial system is all about, and we studied the banking system. In the banking system, we revised Apex Bank is there, commercial bank is there, cooperative bank, foreign bank, number of banking sector present in the India. Okay, but in this lecture, we are going to focus what is the non-banking financial institutes. Right? What is the non-banking financial institute? These are the institute having the license of doing banking, but there are some restrictions. Right? It is a different part for it is a different part from banking. So in this lecture, we have to focus what is the non-banking financial institutes. What is the non-banking NBFI? NBFC stand for non-banking financial companies, or you can say the institutions. In India, the NBFC are registered under Company Act 1956. The number of non-banking financial company has expanded considerably after the industrial, retail and venture capital company entered into the lending business. As you know, bank is mostly engaged into the providing loan, but after the liberalization in the 1991 we adopted LPG. A liberalization of the industrial area is to be done at that time, and so more and more industries are started establishing, and for that they require the huge capital, and banking sector at that time was inadequate to provide them a financial assistance. So the NBFI started establishing. They are engaging into the merchant banking, they are engaged into the retail and venture capital. Now, these are the financial services, guys. What is the merchant banking? Merchant banking, in the sense, some of the institutes, some of the banking sectors are providing consultation services to the industrialist for their investment, for their production analysis, and all. This is the consultation provided, and for that they charge some fees. Means bank is not only remain for the accepting deposit and providing loan, but nowadays they are engaged into the such a financial services, and these are the inadequate for the industrial revolution, and hence NBFI greatly established after the liberalization. But one main registration, one main object is there, the registration is compulsory for them, guys. Always remember, it will be asked for the short note question. As per the Company Act 1956, you have to establish the company first, or you have to register the company first, whether it is financial or any production unit, but you have to register first. And that NBFI engaged into industrial, retail and venture capital. What is the venture capital, guys? Venture capital, first of all, I want to explain with you what is the venture capital. Venture capital means the capital assistance, or you can say the financial assistance for the risky projects. Next one is the some of the NBFIs, that is the non-banking financial institute cooperating with the India, are NABARD, PFCL, that is a pension fund, Infrastructural Development Finance of India, Shree Global, Reliance Capital, Shriram Transport Fashion, Muthoot Finance, LIC Housing Finance, and RECL. Some of the name you heard many times on the TV as well as in the newspaper. Now, in the next slide, we have to differentiate what is the NBFC, what is the difference between banking and non-banking financial institutes. First of all, you have to understand what is the NBFC, what are the function of NBFC. Okay, non-banking financial institutes is mainly engaged to provide the banking service to the people without holding the bank license. Means they does not having the proper bank license which is issued by RBI. Always remember, it is not issued by the proper license by the RBI to such a NBFCs, and NBFC cannot accept the demand deposit. Okay, they does not have the right to accept the demand deposit if there is no license is given by the Apex Bank, guys. Always you have to remember, those does not having the license, how they can accept the deposits. Okay, the NBFC is not the part of payment and settlement system. Okay, it is not the part of settlement system. Means you cannot transfer your fund by using such types of NBFC. You, if you want to settlement of your payments, you have the account in the nationalized bank only, then and then only you can do the remittance product as well. Next one is the NBFC cannot issue the check, draw it on itself. NBFC cannot issue the check. Always mind it. They does not have the right to issue the check. गाईज, एक लक्षात ठेवायचं, ज्यांना रिझर्व्ह बँक ऑफ इंडियाने बँकिंगचा लायसन्सच दिलेला नाहीये अशा इन्स्टिट्यूट्स आरबीआयचे जे काही रूल्स आहेत ते फॉलो करू शकत नाही. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल ते काही डिमांड ऍक्सेप्ट करू शकत नाही, डिमांड डिपॉझिट्स ऍक्सेप्ट करू शकत नाहीत. ऑन द अदर हँड ते चेक सुद्धा तिथं इश्यू करू शकत नाहीत. नेक्स्ट काय सांगितलं बघा, द डिपॉझिट इन्शुरन्स फॅसिलिटी फॉर द डिपॉझिट इन्शुरन्स अँड द क्रेडिट गॅरंटी कॉर्पोरेशन इज नॉट अवेलेबल फॉर एनबीएफसी depositors like a bank. Always remember, when the bank accept the demand deposit, there is compulsion on bank to do the insurance of that deposit, because in future there will be any problem arise or the risk will arise, and for that there should be the requirement of the insurance for the people money, because you are accepting the money of the society, then you are liable for it, and hence in the future there will be the any risk is arise. To face that risk, every bank should do the insurance of their deposits, but in the case of NBFI it is not necessary. In the case of NBFI there is not deposit insurance is to be done. The next one is, an NBFC is not required to maintain reserve ratio. Always remember, when we studied the Reserve Bank of India is the apex institution, guys, and it is the bank of government and it is the bank of bank. So every bank have to maintain some deposit with the RBI is in the form of कॅश, दॅट इज अ 4%. ओके, प्रत्येक बँकेनं त्यांच्या कॅश काही डिपॉझिट रिझर्व्ह बँकेबरोबर डेली बेसिसवर रोज ठेवायचं असतं. दॅट इज अ 4%. ओके, म्हणजे आज माझ्याकडे कॅशमध्ये 100 रुपये, त्याचे 4 रुपये मला रिझर्व्ह बँक ऑफ इंडियाला आजच्या आज द्यावे लागतात. दॅट इज अ कंपल्शन ऑन द बँकिंग सेक्टर. वेदर यू आर कमर्शियल बँक, वेदर यू आर अ नॅशनलाइज बँक, प्रत्येकानं ते ठेवायचे असतात. परंतु हे कंपल्शन याच्यावर नाहीये. कुणावर नाहीये हे कंपल्शन? तर हे कंपल्शन एनबीएफसी वर दिलेलं नाहीये. आता सीआरआर म्हणजे काय हे तुम्ही ऑलरेडी 12वी मध्ये स्टडी केलेलं आहे. सीआरआर मीन्स कॅश रिझर्व्ह रेशो. इट इज द पर्सेंटेज और इट इज द रेशो every bank has to kept with RBI is in the form of deposit. That is a CRR, right? On the other hand, you see that there is SLR. SLR is the statutory liquidity ratio. I am revising it because you are already studied it in the 12th standard. रोख राखीव निधी, संविधानिक राखीव निधी ह्या कन्सेप्ट तुम्ही 12वी मध्ये पाहिलेले आहेत. But I am repeating it for those students who are coming from the non-commerce background. What is the SLR? SLR is the statutory liquidity ratio. It is the 19.5. Every bank has to keep some money invested into the government bonds, security, golds and the various near money of the RBI. प्रत्येक बँकेनं त्यांच्याकडे असलेल्या कॅपिटलचा काही भाग SLR म्हणजेच नियर मनी मध्ये गुंतवून ठेवायचा असतो रिझर्व्ह बँक ऑफ इंडियाच्या. मग नियर मनी इन द सेन्स गव्हर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स, डिबेंचर्स, गोल्ड, सिक्युरिटीज यामध्ये तुम्हाला कंपल्सरी इन्व्हेस्ट करावे लागतात. इट इज अ कंपल्शन बिकॉज यू आर वर्किंग इन द पेरिफेरी ऑफ अपेक्स बँक. सो तुम्हाला हे करावंच लागतं. पण हे कंपल्शन एनबीएफसी वर नाहीये कारण त्यांना बँकिंगचा लायसन्स नाहीये. सो दे कॅनॉट डू सच थिंग्स. द नेक्स्ट वन इज NBFC cannot indulge the primary in the agriculture, industrial activity, sale, purchase, construction of the immovable properties. Okay, in such types of sector, NBFC are not indulged. Next is the foreign investment is allowed up to the 100%. Can you imagine, guys, after 1991, when we adopted the LPG, we globalized our economy, we liberalized the industrial sector, we liberalized the banking sector as well. And for that, if you want to fulfill the financial need of the country, then foreign direct investment is accepted. And at the initial period it was just a 24% or the 49%, but now foreign direct investment means the परदेशीय गुंतवणूक ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, परदेशातनं येऊन इथं कंपन्या टाकू शकतात. तर त्यामध्ये पूर्वी फक्त 26%, 49% एवढी परमिशन सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंट देत होतं. परंतु आता any foreign company can come and establish their branch in India and do the financial transactions or financial assistance, and 100% foreign direct investment is allowed in this sector. So these are the functions. The next one is types of NBFC in India recognized by the RBI. RBI not issue the proper license regarding banking to the such sectors, but there are some code of conduct given to the NBFCs. That asset financial company, which are the types of NBFC? asset finance company is there, loan companies is there, investment company, infrastructural finance company, infrastructural debt fund, non-banking financial company, NBFC factor, and residuary non-bank financial companies, banking companies. These are the some types of the non-banking finance in India. The next one is, what are the advantage? Why the need of NBFC? Because तुमच्या डोक्यात असेल की मॅडम बँकिंग सेक्टर तर आहे ना, इट इज सफिशियंट ना, then why you are looking for the NBFC? Because we are a developing economy, and for the development we always require a finance, and sometimes the bank perform weak to providing the financial assistance for the various purpose, because sometimes the bank is not entertained to the merchant level, they are not entertained the venture capital, some of the they're not engaged into the lease company. So to fulfill that need, नॉन बँकिंग फायनान्शियल इन्स्टिट्यूट्स इज नेसेसरी. आता तुम्ही म्हणाल मॅडम हे व्हेंचर कॅपिटल किंवा लीज कंपनी हे जे काही आहेत हे मुद्दे काय आहेत हे आपण नेक्स्ट चॅप्टरमध्ये शिकणारच आहोत, परंतु कंपन्यांची गरज ही वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या कर्जाची असते आणि जिथं बँका त्या काही भागवू शकत नाहीत आणि त्यामुळं आपल्याला अशा काही फायनान्शियल असिस्टंटची तिथं गरज होती. मग त्यामध्ये आहे लेनिंट कंडिशन फॉर गेटिंग द लोन टू द कंप्राइज द ट्रॅडिशनल बँक. The lenient condition of the getting the loan in the comparison of the traditional bank, because NBFC provided the loan immediately to the customer without any time lag or without any high process period. लगेच ते लोन प्रोव्हाइड केलं जातं, त्यामुळे पुढची काउंटरपार्टीची नीड फुलफिल होती. As compared to the traditional banking, it is very much fast. Next, the approval of the smaller loan size. Even with the help of NBFC, you can borrow small amount loan in the even 5,000, 10,000, 12,000, whatever the amount it is. Even it is a smaller, you can borrow it. The next one is the borrower evaluation is based upon known history of the business. ओके, द बॉरोवर इव्हॅल्युएशन बेस्ड अपॉन द नोन हिस्ट्री. बॉरोवरला आपण कर्ज देतो कुठल्या बेसिसवर, तर त्याची बॅक हिस्ट्री चेक करून. इट इज नॉट ॲज मच हार्ड अँड फास्ट लाईक अ बँकिंग सेक्टर. So it is convenient to the customer because it is not hard and fast. It is does not accepted various types of difficult documents. So people always prefer the loans from the NBFC. But the rate of interest of the NBFC is always high, and you cannot challenge because it is not backed by the RBI. Guys, always remember, they does not have the proper banking license, so they can charge anything because here they have to make the profit, and so that they charge the heavy rate of interest. Now in this slide we are going to study what is the disadvantage. Disadvantage means, and the NBFC cannot accept the demand deposit, it fall within the realm of the activity in the commercial bank. Next one is the NBFC is not the part of payment and settlement system. In such a case, the NBFC cannot issue the check and drawn itself. That does not give the right regarding payment settlement. That does not drawn their check as well. So this is the big disadvantage of the NBFC. The next one is the deposit insurance facility, and the deposit insurance and the credit guarantee corporation is not available to the NBFC depositors, unlike in the bank. When the people hold some money with the NBFC, like let me take the example of LIC. Okay, LIC, GIC is also the part of NBFC. These are also the part of NBFC. In this slide, they explain that they does not have the insurance facility, deposit insurance facility. So there is a dilemma in the mind of the customer that whenever I kept the money with the NBFC, what is the guarantee of safety? Because when we kept the deposits in the bank, we know that bank having the insurance of our deposits. So if in future the bank faces the risk, our money we will get back because it is insured. But what about the case in the NBFC? There is no insurance is given to the NBFCs for the demand for the deposits. Then how we can get our money back? So that dilemma arises in the mind of the customer. In the next slide, we have to differentiate what is the actual difference between the commercial bank and NBFC. Commercial bank can draw the check, they can issue the check because they have a proper license, so they can issue the check. But on the other hand, NBFC is there, NBFC can't issue the check because there is no permission given to them. As compared to the NBFC, the rate of interest on the commercial bank is low. because commercial bank work under the guidance of Reserve Bank of India. Always there is apex institution, there is regulatory authority, so they have to give the reason if they charge the high rate of interest, and they have to pay they have provide the loan as per the suggestion given by the Reserve Bank of India, guys, because they are work under the periphery or the code of conduct given by RBI. So whatever the loan diversification, whatever the loan distribution, what are the priority sectors is given by the RBI, and as per their rule, every commercial bank should provide the loan. But on the other hand, NBFC does not regulated by the RBI. They does not have the proper license from the RBI, and hence uh, they charge high rate of interest and they divert the loan as per their convenience, because the main object of the NBFC is just a profit maximization. So they looking for the high rate of interest. So, and it is not they are not liable to anybody to give the answer for it, because there is no any compulsion on them like a commercial bank. The next one is commercial bank regulated by Banking Regulation Act done by the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India, when the Reserve Bank of India established in the 1934, it was established as per the 1934 RBI Act. But when the nationalization of Reserve Bank of India is to be done in the 1949, the Banking Regulation Act was passed. Always remember, 1949 ला जेव्हा नॅशनलायझेशन झालं रिझर्व्ह बँक ऑफ इंडियाचं, तेव्हा एक ऍक्ट पास केला गेला, एक कायदा पास केला गेला, त्याचं नाव होतं बँकिंग रेग्युलेशन ऍक्ट 1949. And as per that act, every commercial bank is regulated by RBI. But on the other hand, NBFC is there, non-banking financial institute. It is regulated by SEBI. SEBI was established in 1992, and as per the Company Act as well. Company Act means some rules of the Company Act 1956 is to, 1856 was implement on it. But now the Company Act is also amended in the 2013. So the rules and the rules of the acts is somehow amended. The next one is commercial bank hold the variety of asset. Commercial bank is working like a financial institutes. So they holding the variety of assets. But what about the NBFC? They have one type of asset only, because they does not have the license to accept the deposit, and they does not have the regulations done by the Banking Regulation Act as well. So there is no compulsion of holding the asset as well. So they only hold the one type of asset. But when you consider the commercial bank, it has various types of or hold a variety of assets. Which are the top 10 NBFCs? Somehow you heard about it. One is the Reliance Capital. Next one is the L&T Financial Finance Limited. Next one is the Mahindra and Mahindra Finance. Next one is the Sundaram Finance. Shriram Transport and Finance Company Limited. LIC Housing Finance Limited. India Bulls Housing Finance Limited, Power Finance Corporation Limited, Bajaj Finserv. It is the well known, you know, Bajaj, everywhere you got a message, you got an email that take the loan from us, and it is the immediate type of loan without checking the credit worthiness. Sometimes NBFC provide the loans, म्हणजे एखाद्याची क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस न चेक करता जस्ट सिबिल बघून, सिबिल यू नो, सिबिल इज द क्रेडिट इन्फॉर्मेशन ब्युरो इंडिया लिमिटेड, ज्याला कुणाला कर्ज द्यायचं आहे त्याची गुणवत्ता चेक करण्यासाठी त्याचा क्रेडिट स्कोर काढला जातो, ज्याला आपण सिबिल असं म्हणतो. आणि तो सिबिल कसा काढला जातो, तर अकॉर्डिंग टू युअर फायनान्शियल हिस्ट्री, की तुम्ही कुठून लोन घेतलेले आहेत, ते लोन रिपे केलेले आहेत का, त्याच्यावरून तुम्हाला एक मार्क दिले जातात. इफ युअर सिबिल इज मोर दॅन 750 यू विल गेट 100% लोन. 750च्या वर असेल तर तुमचा स्कोर खूप चांगला आहे आणि त्यामुळे तुम्हाला तिथं जास्त जेवढं तुम्ही मागितले तेवढ्या प्रमाणात 90%, 95% लोन तिथं अप्रूव्ह केलं जातं. ऑन द अदर हँड त्याच्यापेक्षा जर तुमचा सिबिल कमी असेल तर त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी कमी कर्ज केलं जातं. आणि इफ युअर स्कोर इज लेस दॅन 350 then no one entertain you. And how it is calculated? With the help of your financial history, and where to be it is available, where you it available with the help of your PAN card number. PAN card number तुमचा सिबिलचा एक सॉफ्टवेअर आहे, त्यामध्ये तुमचा पॅन कार्ड नंबर टाकला की युअर फायनान्शियल हिस्ट्री टोटली ओपन, and with the help of that you can calculate the सिबिल. And as per the rule of Reserve Bank of India, the bank should provide the loan only those people having the good CIBIL. But as you know, in the first slide we studied, the NBFC does not have the banking license. So they not follow it, and sometimes it provide the loan without checking the credit worthiness. आता बघा ना, बजाज फायनान्सचे किती मेसेज तुम्हाला येत असतात, 0% फायनान्सवर हे व्हेकल उपलब्ध करून देतात, 0% फायनान्सवर ही लोक मोबाईल उपलब्ध करून देतात, 0% फायनान्सवर हे कमर्शियल व्हेकल उपलब्ध करून देतात. म्हणजे इट इज रिस्की फॉर देम ऍज वेल. कारण कसं होतं, कस्टमरला जर आपण क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस न चेक करता जर लोन दिलं, त्याची ऐपतच नसेल आणि त्याला जर तुम्ही कर्ज देऊन बसला, तर द प्रॉब्लेम विल अराइज रिगार्डिंग रिपेमेंट्स. मग बऱ्याच वेळेस इट इज रिस्की फॉर द एनबीएफसी, but they cover it by charging the highest rate of interest. HDFC is also the well-known. HDFC is also the part of NBFC. Okay, these are the several content we have to focus on the NBFC. Okay, NBFC, first of all you have to study that NBFC means the institution does not having the proper banking license by the RBI. That is the main point. And what are the functions? Function you have to consider, which means they provide the banking financial services without holding the banking license. License नसून सुद्धा banking चे functions हे बऱ्याच वेळेस perform करतात. NBFC cannot accept the demand deposits. Next, NBFC is not part of the payment and settlement. NBFC cannot issue the check and drawn itself. Deposit insurance facility of the deposit insurance credit guarantee corporation is not available. Next, the NBFC is not required to maintain the CRR and SLR. NBFC cannot indulge the primarily in the agriculture industry and the sale purchase. And the foreign investment is allowed up to 100%. So you have to focus on these points. Regarding this, I will share you the PDF file as well. You can note down this slide as well. If it is blur, I will share you the new slide as well. But first of all, you have to clear what is the concept of NBFC. It is the third content of your first chapter, non-banking financial company. Okay. Thank you.